Hi, I'm Governor Kristi Noem, and I want to welcome you to the beautiful state of South Dakota. I know you had some difficulty getting this conference scheduled, but you couldn't have picked a better spot than the beautiful Black Hills. Deadwood has a lot of history, so I hope that you get out and experience it while you're here in town. You're a little over an hour from Mount Rushmore and Crazy Horse, but it's worth the trip. The leaves are turning in Custer State Park, and it's a beautiful sight. But make sure that you also enjoy your conference too. Thank you for all that you do for athletes. Sports are so important to help teach hard work and determination. And I know you do a great job for college wrestlers. So again, welcome to South Dakota. Have a great conference, and God bless.
First off, I would want to thank our host, Frank Pavich. He lined everything up for our meeting today, and we really appreciate that we could be here and to put on this virtual meeting for the ICWA. Thank you, Frank, and thank you, Governor Noem, for your welcome to the ICWA. Really appreciate it. This year will be a different year, as we know, because of COVID-19. We ask that you be patient, and please use precautions stated on our website when going to the events. I know each and every one of you are up for that task. Thank you for doing what you do as a representative of the ICWA, the NWA, or your respective official organization. I'm so proud to work with the ICWA, has accomplished over the last 6 years for the betterment of college wrestling officials. With our 140 members, we strive to educate, mentor, and develop wrestling officials in an effort to ensure the sport of wrestling continues to grow. Our growing membership has done a great job in following the mission of the ICWA, not only from our organization, but all organizations that take time to learn from the best officials in the U.S. You are now on our new and updated ICWA.org website. Please go in there when you have more time to check out all the members and learn about the programs we have to offer. The ICWA was established in 2015 by officials that had a vision of working for all officials, mentoring, educating, and learning. Today, we are improving and learning each and every year for the betterment of college wrestling officials. It has been a great experience as president of the ICWA and working with the ICWA board. Their love of the sport of wrestling and their passion for helping other officials grow just shows you what the ICWA is all about. Now I have the great pleasure of introducing the 2020-21 Executive Board. Executive Director Dan Lang from Texas, President Keith Pullman, Iowa, Past President Pete Mankiewicz, Missouri, Vice President Alberto Rodriguez, Kansas, Secretary Clark Conover, Missouri, Treasurer Jaron Quincy, Texas, Assignment of Officials Kenny Ritchie, Oklahoma, At Large Frank Pavich, South Dakota, and At Large Rick Fink, South Dakota. Thank you for serving as our executive board. Now I'd like to introduce Tim Shields. He's going to talk about preparing for the 2020-21 season as an official. Tim Shields is the NCAA coordinator, and Tim.
Officials, evaluators, assignment coordinators, and fans of wrestling, welcome to the 2020 ICWA NWA Virtual Convention. I'm Tim Shields, NCAA National Coordinator of Wrestling Officials. It's my pleasure to make a few brief announcements to kick off this year's convention. First of all, I'd like to thank the ICWA board members, with special thanks to Keith Pullman, Dan Lang, Frank Pavich, Mike Hagerty, and Kenny Ritchie for all their work done behind the scenes. This year's convention is new, as we all know, but a few things don't change, and those are some of the important things that we want to make certain get out to all of the wrestling officials in the country. I'd first like to talk a little bit about the National Wrestling Officials Association. There's been a lot of work done since March to make the NWA inclusive for everyone. I know Mike McCormick, NWA president, will be taking a lot of time to talk about the values and why it's so important to be an NWA member. But I encourage you to also look at the NWA.org website and realize firsthand the value that you can get by being an NWA member. Secondly, officials, please do not procrastinate. We need you to be registered. You know that the registration process where you view the rules video by Chuck Barbie, the mechanics officiating video provided by myself with help from Mike Agerty, and the wrestling community of Blue Springs is vital. You need to watch those videos, then take the test. Remember, the deadline is October 26th, 5 p.m. Eastern. Please don't wait. I know many of you have been asking, well, what if we don't have a season? The NCAA has done a great job of posting on CenterMat the refund policy in case we don't have a season or if we only have a partial season. So please make certain that you are registered and you're ready to go. We know this season is going to provide us with many challenges. And part of it is by the time you see this video, you will have had posted on Arbiter CenterMat a best practices policy. The best practices policy is going to outline the specific guidelines: wearing a mask, hand sanitizing, preparation before matches, after matches, between matches, all of the things that many of you are asking about. Those will be posted. There is going to be no exceptions. This best practices has been something that all of the assignment coordinators are part of. We've done this collectively. We've taken this information from a return to championship plan that was provided to us by the NCAA, and we've come up with these bullet points and specific guidelines that must be followed by NCAA certified officials. Please note, gentlemen, if you don't follow these guidelines, then you're going to be subject to not officiating or certainly not being eligible to work postseason. It's critical. We have the opportunity this year to show not only wrestling fans, but people who are sports fans, wrestling officials have it together. They're unified. They're doing really positive things for COVID-19. They're doing what they can to make the sport continue through these turbulent times, and we need to be the lead. So please understand, we are going to follow these guidelines. In addition, you may have seen on the mechanics video a new step. This year, we do not have any new rules, which is great. We are not in a new rule year. But again, we want to continue to be strong as a two-man team, two-man officiating crews. And one of the things that you saw mentioned which has always been a question, what do we do if I'm as the outside official and I've noticed an infraction? I've noticed something that the lead official might have missed. We've put together where on the outside, I'm going to make this signal to my lead official so that he knows. Maybe there was a false start. We need to reset. Maybe there was an illegal hold. Maybe there was a technical violation. I think that this is going to be really helpful as we continue to strive to do what we've been practicing all along. Let's get it right. So again, these are some positive things that are happening. So remember, NWA website, making certain you're registered, current updates, and regarding the upcoming season, best practices policy. All of those things will be available before you've even seen this video. But please know that if this is the first time you're viewing it, you've got to get these things done. Again, my last message is, officials, there's never been a more important time for us to be unified. This is a time where we can show that we're going to put egos We're going to put the competitiveness and we're going to leave it at the door. We're going to work as teams and we're going to do what's best during these difficult times to ensure that our student athletes have the opportunity to have not only the best officiated matches like we've always done, but also the possibility of having conference and national championships because we've been proactive and taken the necessary steps. Again, I hope you enjoy the clinic. My sincere thanks to all of the ICWA members and to everyone who's played an important part. I know this year's going to be, whenever we start, this is going to be a great year. Thank you.
Next, we have a short message from Cal Sanderson, head coach, Penn State University.
Hello, ICWOA members and attendees. My name is Kel Sanderson, and I'm the head wrestling coach at Penn State University. Thank you for attending the ICWOA virtual meeting. As a coach, I appreciate having an organization like the ICWOA that is focused on the education, learning, and mentoring of young officials, as well as all college wrestling officials. It is my privilege to introduce and acknowledge the Division I Championship officials from 2019-2020 season. Congrats to all 20 of you. As a coach, I just want to thank you and share our gratitude for all that you do for the sport. We know that wrestling is an extremely difficult sport to officiate. We know that as coaches we can be very emotional and irrational, especially in the heat of the battle, and we appreciate your patience and your diligence in enforcing and the integrity of our great sport. You make our sport better. College wrestling, high school wrestling, wrestling in general could not do and be what it is, and it would not continue to grow if we did not have outstanding officials. So thank you very much. And in closing, I just want to thank the ICWOA for doing what you do. Enjoy your meeting. Thank you.
Thanks, Cal, for your message for the ICWA. Really appreciate it. Now I'd like to introduce Frank Pavich, mentoring chairman of the ICWA.
Thanks, Keith. Welcome to the 2020 ICWA College Wrestling Officials Video Conference. I'm Frank Pavich, mentorship official for the ICWA. Over my college career, I've had many mentors in my life, including Dave Frisch, Darrell Henry, Jim Warren, Jerry Moore, Jim Johnson, just to name a few. In addition, I have the privilege of working with many talented college wrestling officials from coast to coast. I've learned much from these officials. They've helped me develop my skills as a college wrestling official. In my past, I served in the United States Marine Corps. I was an infantry platoon sergeant for a Marine Corps infantry platoon. I've dedicated my career by owning several businesses, and we deal with multiple employees and staff on a daily basis. From these experiences, I realized quickly in order to have a successful, productive, professional team, I didn't need to be the boss, I needed to be the leader. And in order for me to be that leader, mentorship was the key. Several years ago, I asked the ICWA if I could help them develop a mentorship program. They kindly granted me that opportunity. So it's with great pleasure that I'm excited to present you the mentorship message for the ICWA. Let me be clear about our mission statement. The ICWA is committed to taking an active role to help college wrestling officials gain experience, develop confidence, and polish their officiating skills. We'd like everybody to achieve the desired level of college wrestling that they're capable of. We've developed 2 levels of mentorship. Level 1 is for new officials. Tier 1. Tier 2 is for those veteran officials. Let's talk about Tier 1. Tier 1 new officials. This is for new officials that are from 0 to 5 years in the business. They want to gain experience. They need to have opportunities. Open college wrestling tournaments create a great opportunity to develop a proving grounds for those individuals. The problem is many times those institutions, those host institutions, don't have the funds to pay a new official. All the officials that they have been contracted for a period of time, and there's no room. This is the beauty of mentorship with the ICWA. We can come in and pay that young official to come in and gain valuable experience by those veteran officials, be supervised by the veteran officials, It's a win for the university because they're not, that individual is not on the payroll. And mat time will be invaluable for that individual gaining the experience working that tournament. It's going to be a win-win for everyone. Let's talk about the Tier 2 level. Tier 2 level is for our veteran officials. Veteran officials are officials that have more than 5 years wrestling experience as an official. These guys have been through the bumps and the bruises. They've paid the piper, and that we want them to get visible as college officials. We're going to provide them funds to work college tournaments and duels as a second official and provide them funding to do so. We're going to target specific tournaments around the country, such as the Midlands, the Cliff Keen Las Vegas Open, the Southern Scuffle, Iowa State Open, Missouri Valley Open. We want to open this up coast to coast. We don't want to compartmentalize, and we want to make sure everybody's getting a benefit from this. Let me show you how this works. Very simple. When you go to the ICWA website, you're going to click onto the mentorship icon. The mentorship icon, you're going to see these two documents. It's going to spell out what you need to do. Anybody can nominate anyone, a veteran official, a new official, by going onto the website and filling out an application. This application is very important. The mentor official who's nominating the individual, the nominee or the mentee official, has to fill out this website. They fill out this application and they email it back to me, Frank Pavich, mentorship official for the ICWA. I look at it, I communicate via phone call to the mentor official about the nominee. I approve it, and we go from there. They have just been guaranteed funding by the ICWA. This is really important. The mentor official, you still have a responsibility. Your responsibility is keep that official in your back pocket. Make sure you're mentoring to that official and you're going to do an evaluation on that official. This evaluation form is going to be very important. You need to get this evaluation form back to me within 5 days of the event. How many times has we as college officials been evaluated, but we have no clue what that valuation said or where it was even at? We're going to change that. We're going to keep score, because the only way to develop your skills is to keep score of what's going on. And that's how we're going to do that. So again, mentor officials, very important. I can't stress this enough. You need to get that back to me within 5 days. The ICWA would like to spread this around all over the country. We want everybody to benefit from it. We're going to limit each individual to 2 events. This is going to be a budgetary thing. So whatever our budget says we have, that's what we're going to work with on a yearly basis. If the funds are gone, the funds are gone. There's no more funding available. However, if that individual has worked 2 events and there's still funds available at the end of the year, we're going to have the opportunity to grant them another event. It's going to be case by case. I will decide that situation and circumstance. This is really important as well. You must be an ICWA member in order to get the funding. Let's talk about funding a little bit. How the funding works. The funding, if you're a Tier 1 official and you're working a dual meet as a second official, you're going to get up to $100 for that dual meet. If you're working a tournament, you're going to get up to $200 for that tournament. If you're a Tier 2 veteran official, if you're going to work a dual meet as a second official, you're going to earn up to $200 as a second official. And if you're working a tournament, it's going to be $400. Let's just recap real quick. Real simple. Nominate, if you want to nominate somebody, pull off an application off the ICWA website, send it to me, Frank Pavich, mentorship chairman. My email and my phone number will be on the information. Acceptance of approval. I will communicate with the mentor official, so I will have dialogue both during the application process and after the evaluation process. So we're going to have some checks and balances there and making sure what can that mentor official do to help that individual get back or hone his skills and make sure that he's developing as a young official. Make sure that evaluation form comes to me within 5 days of the event. Very important. I will notify the ICWA Board of Directors to issue payment. The ICWA Treasurer will disperse that payment to the recipient official. This slide says it all. Patience. I love this slide. You know, look at it. Picture is worth 1,000 words. I think this is worth about 10,000 words. Remember, patience is a virtue. Rome wasn't built in a day, and neither were your officiating skills. We developed this program with you in mind. We want to help you achieve the highest level of college wrestling that you desire. Remember, we can't want it more than you want it. You have to want it. And there's plenty of people to help you get it. In the words of Lou Holtz, the great football coach from Notre Dame, I quote, not all of us can be All-American. Not everyone can be first team. Everyone can be the best you're capable of being, end quote. Those words are so true. Don't sell yourself short. Always be looking to improve yourself. Read a book, listen to a podcast, listen to an audiobook. Keep working on the positive. Don't go telling people your problems, because 90% of the people don't care and the other 10% are glad you have those problems. Attach yourself to a veteran official that can be your mentor. If you have a problem, share it with that mentor official. They'll help you work to a solution. I encourage all veteran officials to take a young official under your wing. The elevator went up for all of us. It's time for us to send that elevator down so someone can get on it and come back up, and the process starts all over again. Let's help develop these new officials. New officials, seek out a mentor. I mean, don't be a wallflower in the corner. Seek out a mentor. There's no stupid question. The only stupid thing is if you don't ask the question. So please ask for information, help. Seek out that veteran. Believe in yourself. You know, there's going to be bumps along the way. There's no doubt about that. But don't let those bumps become roadblocks and stop your career. Always try to strive to get to that next level. Success isn't owned, it's leased, and the rent's due every single day. That's important in every aspect of your life, including refereeing college wrestling. We always have to be improving. If we're not growing, we're dying. 2020 was an excellent example that nothing's certain. We've seen that since March. You know, we've had to roll with the punches. But whatever the future holds, we will all adapt and overcome. We will do it collectively as a group, and we will take one day at a time. I belonged to two great fraternities in my lifetime, the United States Marine Corps and wrestling. The family of wrestling is a wrestling family. We are all together in this. We want to move and make this sport better than we found it. On behalf of the ICWA Executive Board and myself, we want to wish you and yours the very best. Have a great season. Thank you.
Thank you, Frank. That was a lot of great knowledge, and we appreciate what you do. Guys, another thing I want to bring up, and this wasn't really planned, but preseason tryouts. When you go to a preseason tryout, it's important. We want to try to bring as many officials in to our ICW organization as we can. When you go to preseason tryouts and you sit down with the team, you go over all the new rules, you talk to them, you answer the questions. At the end, talk to them about, guys, when you're out of wrestling, say 3 to 5 years, and you're missing wrestling, why not become a referee? Get a hold of one of our members of the ICWA and say, hey, I would like to become a referee. We'll bring you along, we'll mentor you, and we'll start it there. We've gotten a lot of members. I've done this for 20 years, but it's something that we feel strongly about. I know Mike Moyer and the Coaches Association feel strongly about. Always bringing new officials in. So guys, there's just a little thing that you can do as a head referee to bring younger officials into our organization. Now we have a short message from the Oklahoma State head wrestling coach, John Smith.
Welcome ICWOA members and attendees. My name is John Smith, head wrestling coach at Oklahoma State University. Behind me is Gallagher Ive Arena. Gallagher was the first wrestling coach, and the name of the arena is after his name behind me here. Thank you for attending this virtual meeting. This group was established by the NCAA wrestling referees who understand the responsibility to educate, mentor, and developing wrestling officials in an effort to ensure the sport of wrestling continues to grow. I really appreciate the hard work and effort you are putting in by each and every one of you becoming better college wrestling officials. The group is focused on bringing newer officials in, mentoring them, as well as developing the officials that have worked for 5 to 10 years. This group works for all officials, and as a coach, I really appreciate it. It is my privilege to introduce and acknowledge the Division II championship officials from the 2019 and 2020 season. Congratulations to all 20 of you. In closing, I want to tell you a little story about an official. I was one that in college that always tried to help the official call my match. And I was in a situation where I felt like I had to. I looked up at the official and I said to him, "Are you going to give me the 2?" And he said to me, "As soon as you quit begging for it, I'll award you the 2." So anyway, that's my story. I have many stories with officials. Most of them are good, some of them are bad, but just know this, I appreciate what you do. I know it's a lot harder than what it looks. Thank you guys for taking the time.
Thanks, John. The great words, and we really appreciate reaching out to the ICWA with your message. Now we have Mike McCormick coming up. He's the president of the NWOA and many-time Division I official and head official, Mike McCormick.
Well, good morning and thanks for watching. I just want to let everyone know that even though we have not been officiating for the last 6 or 7 months, there's been lots of work going on behind the scenes having to do with the National Wrestling Officials Association and its new structure. Over the next few minutes, I hope to give you a few details about what we've accomplished in that amount of time and the new board and its structure. I would like to let everyone know that the new board, I think, is much more inclusive and representative of our entire country, and it's across all levels of wrestling. I think that's important. There are 11 voting members on our new board. Myself as president, Matt Zeitz as the vice president, Gary Kessel as the treasurer, Nate Chapman from the EIWA, Dan Lang from the ICWA, Fred Feeney from Ohio, Brian Kelvington from Minnesota, Dino from the South, Dino White, Cody Olson from California, and Chris Shears from Pennsylvania. The following people are non-voting members, although they're on our board, just to give advice. And the reason why they're not voting members is because they're employed by conferences and we don't want there to be any conflict of interest, or the NCAA. Those members are Tim Shields from the NCAA, Mike Haggerty from the Big Ten, Kenny Ritchie from the 12s, Mike Allen from the MAC, Jimmy Chung from the ACC, Fred Ambrose from the Southern Conference, and Jeff Cook from the Pac-12. About a year ago, Dan Lang and I created a new mission statement for the National Wrestling Officials Association. And here it is. We're a nonprofit organization dedicated to the promotion of the art of officiating at all levels of wrestling. It is committed to setting the standard for all aspects of officiating wrestling across the United States in a professional manner with dignity and respect for all. That new mission statement will be posted on our new website. We have Jimmy Chung to thank for that. The website address is www.nationalwrestlingofficials.org. As I just stated, Jimmy Chung stepped up and took on the task of making the new website. It is up and running. You can go on it immediately. I think Jimmy has done an excellent job in a very short amount of time. It's going to be something that I think we can be very proud of, and we can visit routinely. Again, many thanks to Jimmy Chung for doing that. I want everyone in the country to understand that the new NWA structure has been discussed for several years by a handful of guys. And I firmly believe that to accomplish our vision for this organization, we need to be inclusive and have representatives from all levels of wrestling across the whole country, not just Division I, but 2, 3, NAIA, and JUCO. Our goal is to be the sole voice for a college officiating on the national level and the NCAA level. Most importantly, in my opinion, not to interfere with any current organizations or groups of officials. One of our first goals is to implement pay uniformity across the country, maybe not within each individual level of wrestling, and then have that posted on our website so that athletic directors will be able to go to one spot and see what the net recommended fee is across the country. I think that's important that that be up there. Recently, I made a recommendation to the new board that Gary Kessel drop the title of Secretary Treasurer and just become Treasurer. He has lots of corporate history with our organization. The board approved that recommendation, and we will be taking applications for a new secretary immediately. Matt Zeitz is volunteered to head up that committee. Nate Chapman and Jeff Cook will also be on that committee with him. If you are interested in becoming the secretary of the National Wrestling Officials Association, please contact Matt. His email is Zeitz, Z-E-I-T-Z, at mchsi.com. Feel free to email him or call him if you happen to have his cell phone. The dues for the National Wrestling Officials Association are only $25 per year, and depending on what organization you're in, should be included in that fee. If you're a member of more than one organization, please make sure that the $25 is only charged once, and you can handle that within your own conference. The $25, what do you get for it? Well, you get admission to this virtual conference or a live in-person conference if we were holding it in the future. That's certainly the case. The most important thing, if you ask me, is we finally have insurance. We've talked about it for a long, long time. And thanks to Tim Shields, pushed it across the finish line. That $25 includes insurance, liability insurance for us if someone is injured. I think it's $1 million per incident. In my opinion, that's worth $25 alone. We've been kind of doing it by the seat of our pants for a long, long time. So thanks to Tim for getting that accomplished. Members in the NWA will get discounts with Cliff Keen Athletic for referee apparel and equipment. All right, cut. I got to take a breath. Lost where I was. All right, ready? All right, with the obvious uncertainty in college athletics today and the resulting budgetary impacts that have resulted with COVID-19, our board has recommended unanimously that every organization in the country apply for the NCAA grant money. Reason being, if you're able to get this, and because of finances, conferences say that you are not, or they don't have enough money to pay for an assistant official or the second official, that we're able to use some of this grant money to pay second officials. We've worked really hard over the years to get a second official. I know it is crucial, in my opinion, that that take place with the way the rules are written right now. And to lose that, I think would be really, really bad for the sport. So if you are in a leadership position and an individual conference, please apply for that grant money, knowing that you may be able to use some of that in your organization to pay for the second official. We've also unanimously agreed that everyone should be paid $125 as a second official this year, if that does happen. As of today, I know it's not been finalized, but I've talked to Tim very recently, and he's made recommendations to the NCAA Return to Sport Committee for Wrestling concerning PPE and what we are going to have to utilize while we're officiating this year. Once it's finalized, Tim will obviously inform everybody via Arbiter, and I just think it's really imperative that we follow those directions. We need to stick together on this, lead by example, and not have any COVID-related issues or stoppages because of our behavior. Not exactly sure what those are going to entail yet, but that obviously will come out as soon as we know those. It's my opinion that the changes that we've made to the NWA will strengthen and make it a more powerful representation of college wrestling across the country. It will also give regional organizations a much more active role in the National Wrestling Officials Association. Another one of our goals that we would like to accomplish sooner than later is to get a job description for an executive director. The job description would include responsibilities such as growth of the NWA, the annual convention, working with regional associations and assigners in development, fundraising, mentoring, etc. The long-term plan is for the executive director to have his or her salary funded strictly by grants and fundraising. These changes will take time, but we've made lots of strides since March. And I strongly believe that we have the right people in the right positions to move the needle forward. And I know personally I look forward to the challenge. As far as advice goes for the new season, obviously and most important, I think, be flexible. Bend, don't break. We really don't know what the heck's going to happen come January 1 when we put a whistle in our mouth for the first time. I would say be consistent. Memorize the penalty chart. Wise man told me that one time. Before you leave the locker room, last thing you do is look at your penalty chart. Be confident in your abilities. Realize that you know the rules better than 99.9% of the people in this country. Remain calm on the outside. Your body language is very, very telling. Master your mechanics. Work on them and be consistent. I know we have some new signals this year. Tim will go over that. Find a mentor, maybe most importantly. Ask them to help you, advise you, and guide you through this crazy process, and leave your ego at home. Thanks everyone for listening. Best of luck this season. Thanks.
Next, from the NWCA, National Wrestling Coaches Association, the Executive Director, Mike Moyer.
Hello, I'm Mike Moyer, Executive Director of the National Wrestling Coaches Association. And on behalf of our Board of Directors and our President, Coach Kevin Ward, I'd like to extend a heartfelt thanks out to Keith Pullman and the Board of the Intercollegiate Wrestling Officials Association for the integral role that your association plays in mentoring young aspiring officials across the country. And at the same time, I'm equally impressed with your organization's role in always lending a helping hand, even to your seasoned veteran officials who are always seeking to get better. You know, we always say in the wrestling community that we specialize in adapting, improvising, and overcoming. And there's no doubt that in the COVID-19 environment in which we live, there's plenty of challenges that impact us every day. And it's impressive to see your organization's transition to a virtual convention rather than having nothing at all. You decided to go to a virtual convention here in October 2020, and it's a great example of that innovation. So good luck with your convention. If there's anything the National Wrestling Coaches Association can do to lend a helping hand, please give us a call. We look forward to working with you and working towards a very bright, prosperous future for intercollegiate wrestling. Thank you.
It's my pleasure to introduce Jim Miller, Executive Director of the Dan Gable Museum, to say a few words.
What's happening? ICWA members and attendees. My name's Jim Miller, Director of the National Wrestling Hall of Fame Dan Gable Museum and former 10-time national championship coach at Wartburg College. I love it that you're all attending the ICWA virtual meeting. It's kind of like an athlete. You want to get better, you want to improve as an athlete, it's not going to happen without you putting in the work, and it's a whole lot easier when you surround yourself with other people that want to improve as well. It's cool that the ICWA is focusing on mentoring young officials as well as some that got some years under your belt, but either way, there's some great things coming your way. Just keep trying to get better. It's my privilege to introduce and acknowledge the D3 championship officials from 2019-20. Congrats to all 12 of you. It's a big honor. I got so many stories as a coach. 37 years I was a coach dealing with officials. But I'm going to tell you my very first experience as a coach. I was 23 years old. I was assistant coach at Riceville High School. My first job was to take the JV kids to a JV tournament close by. Make a long story short, we get there and one of my rookie kids, never wrestled a match in his life, is going to wrestle. And I soon realized we had a rookie official who had never officiated a match in his life either. But my guy goes out and takes this young man down to his back, gets a 2-point takedown. The referee, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 3 points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 3 points. 1, 2. It's 14-0 before the opposing coach gets the match stopped. And unfortunately, I had to agree that, hey, the match should only be 5-0 right now. Unfortunately, in the restart, my young man gets reversed to his back and pinned. And then I had to spend a few minutes with his parents who had never seen a wrestling match before. What the heck happened? That was my first experience. But thank you to the ICWOA for all you do. Let's keep improving. And I encourage all of you, if you get a chance, stop by the Dan Gable Museum, Waterloo, Iowa. Good luck.
Thank you, Jim. Great comment. Appreciate it very much. I would like to introduce now a little update on women's wrestling that we really want some of our ICW members to take part in. Nahuma.
Greetings, ICWA members and Executive Board. I'm Nahuma from the United States Wrestling Officials Association. I'm a national and international freestyle and Greco-Roman official. And I'm also the chair of the Women's Collegiate Officiating Committee. We're a division of USA Wrestling, and we're a group of freestyle specialists who have been tasked with training, certifying, and evaluating mat officials for women's freestyle wrestling at the collegiate level in the United States. We're excited to share information with the ICWOA on how you can get involved with women's wrestling at the college level. Women's wrestling is one of the fastest growing sports nationwide at both the high school and college level. As of 2022-23, there are going to be 7 junior colleges, 36 NAIA schools, and 41 NCAA institutions who are all committed to sponsoring women's wrestling as a varsity sport. Women's wrestling has been an invitational championship with the NAIA since 2019. And this coming season, starting with 2020-21, all 3 divisions of the NCAA have approved women's wrestling to be an emerging sport. Additionally, competitively, out of the top 250 female, or the top 250 women who competed in the 2019-20 season, 23 of them have qualified for the Olympic team trials in 2021. There they'll get the chance to earn the right to represent the United States of America at the Olympic Games in 2021 in Tokyo, Japan. The first step into getting involved with women's wrestling is to visit our website, www.uswoa.com/women's college. There you'll be able to see the full requirements for officiating at the college level for women's freestyle, as well as our committee members and their contact information. Thank you for everything that you do and for supporting wrestling at all levels. We're really excited to offer up the opportunity to help work with the ICWA and other organizations to expand opportunities for both men's and women's wrestling officials in the United States.
Mike Haggerty, update on the Big Ten season. Mike?
Hello, college wrestling official. Welcome to the ICWA National Convention. It's been a while since we've been on the mat, no doubt, but it's exciting to know that we're about ready to take part in a new season. No question there will be some obstacles, there will be some issues that come up during the season, but fingers crossed, some hard work. It looks like we're going to have a great season. From the Big Ten office, I certainly want to welcome everybody and hope that this is a great season. Make sure that you're paying close attention to all the protocols that are listed on the ICWA website, the NWA website, along with Arbiter. There'll be a lot of new, exciting information as we move forward. Hopefully it'll keep us on our toes, no doubt, to make this the best of what we can make of this season. There's going to be a lot of questions along the way. Feel free to reach out to the leadership, Tim Shields, certainly the national coordinator. If it's a Big Ten question, certainly reach out to me or any of the other coordinators for that matter to get the latest and updated information. Once again, from the Big Ten office, Mike Haggerty here, welcoming you to an exciting season. Look forward to seeing you along the way. Take care.
Now it is my pleasure to introduce Nate Carr to say a few words.
Welcome, ICWOA members and attendees. My name is Nate Carr, three-time national champion. I want to thank you for attending this ICWOA virtual meeting. When I think about officials, I think about the tough job that you have of making the calls on the mat. In the presence of loud fans, coaches and athletes giving you their expert opinion, and still you have to stay calm and focus and make the call. I want you to know that I appreciate and value officials and organizations like ICWOA who train, mentor, and educate the top collegiate officials in the country. And I want you to know, again, continued success. And let's all work together to make sure the right call is made.
I'd like to introduce Clark Conover, Secretary of the ICWA. He's going to come up and talk about the goals and leadership objectives of the ICWA. Clark?
Keith, thank you for the introduction and your decades of leadership and service to the sport of wrestling, and now stepping up to be the president of the ICWA. 6 years ago, a group of wrestling officials met with a vision to form an Intercollegiate Wrestling Officials Association. We appreciate you joining us for our 5th annual ICWA convention. The tenets of which we started the association remain in effect today. The goals, the vision, and the leadership objectives to bring forth collegiate officials into a group and continue to promote excellence and performance of wrestling officials. As you've seen and are watching in this virtual meeting in this unique time, the 3 goals the association was founded on remain. That being mentorship, which Frank Pavich has spoken about, and we continue to evolve as an association, education of new officials, and continuing education of current officials. We want to get better, each of us, each time we take the mat. And lastly, development. We never stop learning, and the development aspect of the ICWA is a unique tenet and cornerstone of this association. The ICWA continues to focus on ensuring college wrestling officials will continue to grow in their capacity as fair and neutral arbitrators on the mat. The ICWA continues to help college officials reach their potential, help them set goals, help them achieve those goals, and help them mentor new officials in the capacity that they came in. You've heard our President Keith Poolman, Executive Director Dan Lang, and other board members speak about the need to continue to mentor and bring in new officials. That is one of the tenets that the ICWA continues to hold dear, and that is one of the objectives you will continue to hear from us through Frank's mentorship program. The ICWA continues to support wrestling officials across the country with membership in multiple states. We continue to be a proud partner with the National Wrestling Officials Association, and we thank Mike McCormick for presenting on that important objective. We are all part of one fraternity. Part of our vision is to ensure there is an open line of communication for all officials in an effort to educate our members. Vertical integration. There is so much we can learn by listening more and talking less. Learning about the situations that we have experienced. We also learn by explaining situations in a peer-to-peer manner. The ICWA firmly supports the NCAA Center mat. We encourage all of our members to continue to go to that objective and learn from those valuable videos. You may also access that and other training videos through the ICWA new and improved website. The vision of the ICWA is to continue to put in materials and training modules that our members can grow as a benefit and service to the membership. However, non-ICWA members are more than welcome to, again, access our training materials and be a part of the association. The ICWA is an inclusive, not an exclusive organization, and we continue to strive with that vision in mind. To talk about leadership objectives, I'd like to introduce our treasurer, Jerron Quincy, who will expound more about how the ICWA will continue to be a leader in wrestling officiating across the collegiate spectrum.
Thank you, Clark. I'm here to talk about leadership through the ICWA. In this sport of wrestling, we've all been introduced to some great leaders, and the ICWA is no different. We have a group of great leaders in this organization, and all of us are doing our part to help grow the sport of wrestling through our officiating. One thing about leadership, leaders provide direction for an organization, and that's what our leadership is doing. We have a goal in mind. We're trying to get there. Our goal is to develop young officials into great officials. Our Excellent to Elite conference is an example of how we develop our young officials into great leaders on the mat. Our job as leaders is to provide feedback and listen. Another job of a leader is to help our officials in this organization achieve their highest potential. We have plenty of opportunities in this organization for officials to do that. We also have opportunities for our officials to serve on committees, serve as part of the board, and most importantly, be part of our mentor program. Being part of the mentor program provides an opportunity for you to lead officials to becoming the best they can be. If you've made the commitment to officiate, you are a leader. You're a leader on the mat, you're a leader in your community, you're a leader in our sport. Finally, I want to provide you with some information about our organization. We have opportunities for officials to work throughout the year in the Central United States. We have partnerships with several conferences in the Central United States that provide us this opportunity, and several officials have benefited from this over the past several years. Thank you for being part of the ICWA. I encourage you to become a leader in the ICWA. If you feel that you want this opportunity, reach out to any of our board members or Frank Pavich on the mentoring side to be part of this group of leaders.
Thanks, Clark and Jaron. Very good. Now I'd like to introduce one of the all-time legends, Dan Gable, to say a few words.
To the Intercollegiate Wrestling Officials Association, Dan Gable here. I know you want me here for 2 or 3 minutes, but just like my wrestling and my team's matches, I didn't want them to go the full match. The loudest noise is a pin in the home crowd. The best move in a wrestling match is when the referee slaps the mat on your opponent, and that means a shorter match. So I expect nothing less here. But I also liked to score a lot of points first to show the domination instead of a lucky pin. That win, domination first, and then pin, would seal the next match with this same opponent and scare the daylights out of others. So, mostly loved you guys, unless it wasn't going our way. That meant back to work, even tougher and smarter than before. So you people determined my attitude and my practices. I appreciate that. Continue working for that official's consistency and being a big part of the greatness of our sport. Thank you.
Thank you, Dan. Really appreciate from the ICWA your comments. Now we're going to listen to Tim Shields going over the rules and tough call segment. Tim.
Welcome to the Tough Call or You Make the Call segment of the video conference. Many of the clips that you're going to look at were presented at the National Wrestling Coaches Convention at the end of July. What's unique about this is that this year all of the clips were also looked at by our third-party reviewers, Ron Beechler, Gary Kessel, and Jeff Cook, and they made decisions as to what would be the outcome if these calls were challenged. Many of the calls were actually challenged during the year. Other calls that we're looking at are calls that certainly could have been challenged. So as we look at these, I'll kind of go through them, make some comments, and then obviously give you the results that our third-party reviewers came up with and that we announced to officials and coaches at the clinic, the National Wrestling Coaches Clinic, at the end of July. We'll play the clip, I'll make a few comments, and then I'll give you the results or give you the decision that our third-party reviewers made. Also want to just point out that, we're going to see some calls that, hey, we would like to have over. We've all been in that position. We're also going to see some great calls. Purpose of this is it's a great teaching tool. That's what we want to leave from here is that, yeah, I see why that call was made. I see why that call was overturned. Wow, I'm not sure that call should have been overturned. It just gives us a lot of great discussion points, really good teaching tools. That's what we want to accomplish out of this segment. Officials in position. Buffalo's in on the single, looking to finish it. Thinks about starting in the neutral danger zone count, but now instructions. Here we go, and you see time is out. Challenge brick comes out by Buffalo. After reviewing this situation, our third-party reviewers felt that the call would have been reversed. Buffalo would have gotten the takedown, as you saw. About 2 seconds to go, head came out, had both legs covered, hip and butt were down. Therefore, a takedown should have been called in this situation. And Buffalo would have retained their challenge, and again, call would have been reversed, takedown awarded. Our next clip, got 13.3 seconds left in the final period. Tennessee Chattanooga is going to challenge here at the end. A takedown should have been awarded, and let's take a look. Officials in good position, moving well. You can see he's clearly indicating no control. Time's running down. We're down to about 3 seconds. You can see, wow, does he have covered? He waves it off, does a nice job of immediately looking for his second official. Let's talk about it. Lead official says, I don't have enough here. I don't have enough for control. Let's talk about it. If this call was challenged, third-party reviewers, call would have stood. Did not feel like we had enough, and official did a nice job here. No takedown would have been awarded. Good call, good work by the lead official. Close situation, but again, not enough control, and well done. In many of the clips that we're first going to see, but we will mix it up. We are going to have, a majority of them are going to be takedown situations, a lot of them right near the end of periods, but we're also going to take a look at some near fall situations and reversals. But again, here, Central Michigan's going to challenge that no takedown should have been awarded. Let's look at the clip. Central Michigan here is wrestling Ryder. You can see that Ryder trapped that far ankle for a second. Was awarded the takedown. We get into a scramble. Central Michigan's going to challenge, saying, whoa, I don't think we had control beyond reaction time, and I don't think takedown should have been awarded. Officials, as you look at this clip, okay, and we'll take a look at it again. Again, see them in a flurry situation. Ryder's trying to come out. Does he have enough there? Takedown was awarded. Continue. period of time is where the officials stalemated it, and we've got Central Michigan challenging. This went, if had gone to review, folks, we don't have enough control there. We don't have control with reaction time. Did not secure the far ankle, did not have enough good position there by Ryder. In this situation, the call, if challenged, Central Michigan would have retained their challenge. Takedown should not have been awarded in that situation. Another great situation here, we've got Princeton, Oklahoma State. Let's take a look at it and let you guys make your decisions. You see Princeton working a front head and arm, trying to circle around. We come up to the feet. Takedown's awarded. Outside official comes in. Lead official says, gentlemen, stay there. They've got their eyes on the wrestlers. You can see Oklahoma State letting our officials know what they think. Okay? The officials look at this. The takedown was awarded, then say, no, we have no takedown. Okay? And Princeton saying, nah, if Princeton was to challenge, what would be the outcome? And in this situation, these officials did a nice job. You see them conference, see them talk about it. Official says, you know what, I think I gave that too quickly. I don't think there was enough control. They agree, wave it off, nice job. No takedown in that situation. Just didn't establish enough control. Certainly when he did take him to the mat, it was kind of hit the mat, hit the hip partially, right back up and out of it. Was looking to see if he had a supporting point and bounce. They did, but again, not enough control there to award the takedown.
We have a situation, we have a great match, and we're actually going to see a couple clips. First one here, you see Iowa attempting to secure a cradle. And you see the official in great position, continues to move. Question there was, did he go to his buttocks beyond reaction time? You see he's waving it. See the challenge brick come flying in. Let's just clip a little bit longer. Again, officials indicating no control. His outside official needs to give him the approval and let him know that the brick has been thrown. And you can see here the first period of sudden victory ends. In this situation, the challenge was not overturned. The official made a great call here. You did not see the Ohio State wrestler going to his hip, or the Iowa wrestler being able to work in behind the armpit, at a clear angle. So in this situation, this call was confirmed, correct call, and no takedown was awarded. You can see we're having a heck of a match here. This is a great flurry. Takes him, does he have control? Do we have continuous motion? Again, indicates that this situation, the officials got together, and initially a takedown was awarded, waved off. They wanted to take a look at it. And the final decision here is that no, there was not a takedown, did not establish control beyond reaction time. I'd encourage you to take a look at this clip. This may have been with Angel Rivera and Mike Chase. As good a two-man mechanics, as we saw in a lot of matches throughout last year. And so, again, they took a look at this. You can see we've got 1-1, a pivotal match, two highly ranked wrestlers. They went, reviewed it. Iowa thought, hey, we should have had a takedown. They reviewed, and the decision was no takedown, control not established beyond reaction time. Good call. The following clip is very interesting. You're going to see the lead official, someone you all recognize. This is from the 2019 Division II National Championships, 197-pound bout. You can see St. Cloud here attempting to hook up a cradle, takes him back, rolls through. The official awards the takedown, waves it off. You can see the red brick. St. Cloud has challenged that takedown. Again, let's take a look at that again.
Both on their feet right now, 123 rounding
I was there. I was mat side. It's a great bout. You can see, again, officials in position, waving no control. Second official moves where he should be, takes him back, and we've got continual roll through. There's the question. Did he control that position there beyond reaction time? He awarded it, waves it off. Again, you can see we're in the third period here. Pivotal call. This was really one of the real interesting clips. This was taken to our independent reviewers, and also this clip was looked at the National Convention by coaches and officials. Don't exactly certain the breakdown, but probably roughly around 60 some coaches and 30 to 40 officials. 70% of the coaches and 70% of the officials felt, a little bit higher actually, but over 70% felt that no, it was the correct call. There was not control with reaction time. However, when it went to independent reviewers, our independent reviewers overturned it, felt that the call should have stood, and that, hey, if we went back in this national championship, we would have resumed action with St. Cloud ahead 4-2, even though you see that the Tiffin wrestler has regained neutral. That would have been negated because everything after the challenge becomes dead time, and in this case, we would have came back 4-2 with Tiffin down. Again, it's interesting. This was one of really the only call that there was pretty much a very high percentage of officials and coaches from the convention who felt it was correct. But it did get overturned by our reviewers. And it shows that, I would say that 95 to 99% of the call, the officials that we looked at this last year, the officials agreed with the decision the reviewers made. But you do have those instances. Video review is not perfect. Again, you still have judgment, but again, I think it's a great clip to look at. As you can imagine, I'm from Minnesota. St. Cloud is always going to feel that's a takedown. But again, when you look at the percentages, I think that it proves some where our officials and where many of the coaches in the country felt about this call. Great clip. Slide here is a great flurry, and you can see that, hey, the officials in position, we got the flurry going. We've got a tied match here, and we are in the first minute of sudden victory. You see that the official's saying, no, I haven't got control yet. Got control. It's waving it off. He's going to let this play out. Of course, Lehigh's looking for a stalemate. Now we kind of move up. And he's kind of like, yeah, I'm gonna have to sit tight here now. You're down to the last part. 4, 3, 2, 1. Awards the takedown as the armpit comes back in. So, interesting scenario. Two things to remember here. If Lehigh, and I'm sure they didn't, but if Lehigh challenges this call and challenges that time ran out, that call is going to be upheld. You can see the official awarded that takedown with 2 seconds to go. When we went to independent reviewers and said, hey, do you have the takedown? They're saying, even though that arm slid back and behind the armpit didn't really establish control with reaction time, therefore, if Lehigh had challenged that there should not have been a takedown, even though you saw the takedown awarded, the call would have been overturned. So again, semantics is really important because, and it's a good teaching tool not only for our officials, but for our coaches. When you look at that, if you challenge time ran out, you're going to lose that challenge. That takedown was awarded with 2 seconds to go. If you're going to challenge and have it go to independent reviewers, which we did, that there should not have been a takedown, even though it was awarded, the call would have been overturned or reversed. So again, another great clip. both great teaching tool. Following clip, we're going to see a takedown awarded to Northern Iowa. If challenged at the time of that the takedown was awarded, what would have been the call? So officials in position, we've got an early first period scramble going on. See these guys going at it. Northern Iowa starting to work an angle here. Official again gets in position. Good, and you see here he's awarded the takedown. The Oklahoma State's like, okay. Assistant coach is thinking, there you clearly see the takedown. And what we're looking at here is, in this situation, was that takedown awarded too early? So if Oklahoma State, based on when our independent reviewers looked at it, had challenged when that takedown was awarded, the call would have been overturned. It was not a takedown at that time. The reason for this clip is I think we've all been in this position where we're anticipating. It's like, it seems like it's only a matter of seconds or, yep, we're going to have that takedown. But by rule, you know that if you put them up too quick, wave them off, because we've seen situations where it's inevitable that the offensive man is going to get that takedown. But if we give it early and it's challenged, we're going to have to reverse that call. Also saw an instance very similar to this, a little different flurry, but it was a 141-pound match with Wisconsin and Ohio State. Ohio State was clearly going to be in position to finish it, but the takedown was awarded early. Wisconsin challenged, call was overturned. And our officials had to overturn their own call in that situation. So, I think one of the things that's important to remember when we look at this clip is if you put them up early, don't be afraid to wave them off, let the situation develop, and then again, award those points, sell that call when you know that you clearly have control and you have the takedown. Clip, we've got a 1-1 match here, and as one of my favorite retired officials, Ricky Cole, used to say, we're in a pickle here, and you're going to take a look at this situation. You see in the final period, this is going to determine who's going to win this match. Time is running out, and you're going to watch right here. The official's kind of back right there, folks. He's got a takedown. But now they come out, and he awards the takedown right there as time expires. So this gets real interesting. If that call is challenged when the officials have made it, the call is going to get overturned. And then you've got the subsequent spiking of the headgear, which if challenged can lead to other situations. The reason we're looking at this clip is that, one, while the official was in good position, you also could move more into the inner circle here of the mat to have a better angle. The outside official is also in a position now, as you've seen it when you've registered this year, to maybe make this signal. Hey, we need to talk, because that takedown, when we looked at it and looked at by independent reviewers, we got a takedown with 2 seconds. But has the Nebraska wrestler established control when that takedown's awarded right at the buzzer? Our independent reviewers did not think so. So again, it's a situation where you want to confer. This also can get to be really difficult. Is remember, spiking of headgear is not subject to dead time, and so if this call's reviewed because Ohio State had a challenge and said there's no takedown there at the end, and your independent reviewers overturn it, okay, we've got a 1-1 score. The fact that Nebraska spiked their headgear, which is unsportsmanlike, it does not become post-match because the match is technically not done. It becomes part of the match and is a match point. So it could result in the call being overturned, meaning we're 1-1. The spiking of the headgear, which is unsportsmanlike, now becomes a 1-point penalty. 1 point's awarded to Ohio State. Ohio State could win this match 2-1. So a lot of different scenarios there, but again, as it turned out, hey, the officials talked about it. They said, hey, I think the call stands. But again, it gets into that, you know, those last few seconds and making certain that we get it right. Tough call, tough situation, and you know, was not challenged, but it's a great clip to look at for the possibility of different outcomes that could have arisen. You can see that hey, we're winding down. We've got a tied match. We're finishing up the last few seconds of the third period. We got Indiana looking to challenge that. Hey, we should have had a takedown. As you take a look at that, official's in great position, follows the action. You see the time winding down, and time was out before there was control. The takedown, the Northwestern wrestler basically went to a side or part of the side of his hip, but boom, immediately right back. And again, no control. Good no takedown call in this situation. We see the seconds winding down. This is the 2019 Division III 133-pound national championship. Let's take a look at this again. You've got a fast flurry, the last 10 seconds. And again, Mount Union, red ankle band is up 8-7. You're going to see, let's take a look. You see Stevens Point in the purple on the attack. Mount Union's holding position. Okay. Action took place on the mat. Stevens Point coming around. Question is, did they have the takedown with reaction time? That situation was not a hand-touch takedown. So when again, this went to our independent reviewers, they took a look at it. The call on the mat stood. Correct call, great 10-second flurry. Tough call, but a good call. And again, the call on the mat stands, and the final score, Mount Union 8, Stevens Point 7. The following clip, you see that we've said Lock Haven challenged a takedown, hand-touch takedown, and it's actually Bloomsburg. Here you get the situation. Lock Haven comes in from behind, down, there's a hand touch. They've awarded, the official correctly awards it, but awarded Bloomsburg a reversal and then a reversal by Lock Haven. So Bloomsburg had challenged initially, was there feeling there was not a takedown, not recognizing that that was the correct call, that we did have a hand touch takedown. You could have very easily held off or on the reversal to Bloomsburg because you quickly saw Lock Haven come right back around. Not sure that we had a clear reversal there, but again, the situation, instead of a 3-1 match, now became a 5-3 match. But the correct call was made there. That was a hand-touch takedown and correctly recognized by the official. The following clip is an interesting one. Oklahoma State's going to challenge a reversal call here. Now, this is kind of a hypothetical. I don't believe that was the case in this actual match, but it's certainly a situation where, you know, postseason, conference, national championships, this call could be challenged. It's a great teaching tool because we talk frequently about, you know, we've got to make the bang-bang call, we've got to award the points. But it's also nice in situations where, gosh, maybe I could have hung on a tenth or 2/10 of a second longer before I awarded those points. So let's take a look at this clip and what the outcome would have been if actually challenged by our third-party reviewers.
He's got himself in this match. He
Again,
away here.
Comes around, he's got the leg kicks out. Did he establish control in the rear standing position? Let's take a look at this again. Okay, again, does he have completely come around from the bottom to this position, in control in the rear standing position? Should have been a reversal or should have been an escape? You can see at this point that we would have a 2-1 match. Now, what's interesting here is that if challenged, and this is a big call, guys, if challenged, and we say no, there is not a reversal, we don't get to award the escape. Everything after that's dead time. So if we hold on to that call, award the escape, you know, even if it's challenged later that it should have been a reversal, we can go to the reversal. But if we challenge that, hey, you were in a reversal and it wasn't there, then again, because of how we work, you know, dead time and how we work challenges, then that escape is not going to be awarded. And so what we're going to have here is Minnesota's not going to get 1 point. They're going to get nothing. They're going to be back down. The other thing that when you take a look at this clip, and again, veteran, great official, but it's also a situation where, again, head position. I think, you know, Oklahoma State is not on the midline at the start of this. So take a look at it one more time. It's kind of bang, bang. But again, if it had gone to review and Oklahoma State challenges that Minnesota should not have had a reversal, that call would have been overturned.
He's got himself in this match.
Again, it's not midline. Get the roll, coming around. As he comes completely around in the rear, from bottom to completely behind here in rear standing. But again, tough situation, tough couple of great wrestlers, and a tough call. But as mentioned, call would have been, if challenged, would have been overturned. It was not, and Oklahoma State ended up winning this bout. Let's take a look at another clip here. We've got two great wrestlers, the number 2 and number 5 ranked wrestlers in the country going at it here in an ACC match. And again, you can see North Carolina State's on top. Princeton starting to come around, and right there, they're getting behind. Officials pointing that NC State's still in control. You can see that Princeton's challenging, hey, we've either got a 1 point loss of control or we should be in a drop-down count situation. Okay, interesting. Okay. What you've got here is that the official goes to a stalemate, and in reality, that should have been a situation where he should have let it play out. There's not a drop-down count in that situation because Princeton did come around and grab North Carolina State's leg before North Carolina State went to the reverse lock. So again, if challenged that, hey, we should have had a loss of control, officials would have stayed with the official's call. That call would have stood that, no, we have no loss of control. North Carolina State still in control. And again, possibly a little quick on the stalemate, but again, correct call. And again, one of those things where you just, for future reference, probably want to play that one out and let it play out just a little bit longer before you stalemate it. And even though Princeton's making the signal like that got to be a drop-down count, it was correctly not a drop-down because North Carolina State, as mentioned, did not go into that reverse lock before Princeton first came back in the reversal and grabbed North Carolina State's leg. We're going to take a look here. We've got great rivalry, North Carolina State, North Carolina, 133-pound match. North Carolina ahead by 1-0. Let's take a look at the final seconds. North Carolina State's going to challenge. There should have been a reversal. Got the good old flurries going on. You can see North Carolina in the blue singlet up 1-0 is in control. Official does a nice job of indicating that. We're down to 20 seconds here now. Outside officials in good position. I should say second official. Now, we've got that lock going on. Again, down to 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Got the lock. Time's out. Again, officials both moving well, in good position. If that was challenged, the call on the mat indicating no reversal, that call would have been confirmed. We did not have a reversal in that situation. Again, the official did a nice job. We had enough action in there not to stalemate it, and the call no reversal was the correct call. North Carolina wins the match 1-0. Our final clip, we're going to take a look at near fall situations. One of our points of emphasis throughout the year is that, hey, we don't get quick on near fall counts. We make certain near fall counts at 45 degrees or less. We're going to take a look at a number of clips. Some of these are hypotheticals. They weren't actually challenged, but if challenged, what would have been the decision made by our third-party reviewers is how we're going to take a look at these clips and then give you their decisions. Here we go. Again. Officials in position. Again, he's got him out. It's awarded near fall. Question is, was there control? Was the Nebraska wrestler in near fall criteria for a continuous 2 count? Was he in and out? Nebraska's challenged that there should not have been a near fall. Although the near fall was awarded, if this had gone to our third-party reviewers, they're going to say, I don't have that 1,001, 1,002 count continuous. I have Nebraska coming in and out. Therefore, the call, the near fall, would have been reversed. Clip. Again, this is from the 2019 Division I National Championships. We're going to see a nice carry here by the Ohio State wrestler on Minnesota. And the question becomes, did Ohio State have Minnesota in near fall criteria long enough for the near fall to be awarded? Ohio State challenges there should have been 2-point near fall. Let's take a look and then give you the decision rendered by our third-party reviewers. Nice carry, 1,001. Again, we'll take a look at this clip again. You see that you've got the number 2 and number 7. Okay. Challenge brick comes out. Second official indicates to the wrestlers, to their corners. Let's take a look at it again. Carry. Back, 1,001. Okay. Officials in position. Brick comes out. Here we go. So, at this point, the third-party reviewers indicated that no, I don't have near fall for that true 2-second, 1,001, 1,002 count. Therefore, the near fall, no near fall, as indicated by our officials, that call would have stood. Ohio State would have lost their challenge, as there was not a continuous 2 count, and a 2-point near fall would not have been awarded. Another near fall situation. Here we have a match with Virginia Tech and Cornell, and Virginia Tech leading the match at this point 2-0. Here we go. I'm going to come around, take the man to the mat, puts him in a quick tip position. Official quickly comes around, awards the 2. Cornell challenges, hey, I don't think you were in position to see the 2. Don't think there was 2 there. And the official's got to doesn't have a second. It would be a great time to have a second to take a look at him and say, have you got it? But makes the call, awards the near fall. Third-party reviewers looked at it, and they did not feel that criteria was met, that the Cornell wrestler was at 45 degrees or less, or for a solid 1,001, 1,002 count. So Cornell would have retained their challenge, and the near fall would have came off the board in this situation. We're going to take a look at our final near fall clip. South Dakota State's going to challenge that they should have been awarded a 2-point near fall. They are dominating here on top. Let's take a look at this clip and determine what our third-party reviewers came up with. Again, good start by the official, moving in position. South Dakota State's attempting to get the legs in, working pretty hard. You see him start taking the man over. Again, boom, we're on chest to chest. He's in 1,001, 1,000. The official indicates that Now it doesn't have 2-point near fall. South Dakota State, challenging, probably thinks that there should have been a near fall there, that there should have been a 2 count. Again, let's take a look at it. I'm not going to comment. And then at the end of the clip, I'll give you the decision that our independent reviewers came up with.
This is a major tactical decision on Llewellyn's part here to take down.
Trying to keep those legs from getting thrown in.
Yeah,
but
and he was able to get him in, break him down, and what he's good at is he's good at turning you. There it is.
He only got
he didn't, yeah, and he's
Hans.
In this situation that went back and forth, South Dakota State had Oklahoma State on the chest, then dropped down, had the count, did not feel, our independent reviewers did not feel that there was enough to establish a clear 1,001, 1,002, 2-point near fall. Official was in great position, did not award the near fall. Therefore, the call on the mat, no near fall, would have been confirmed. South Dakota State would have lost their challenge. Close situation, close call. Again, official was in great position, and the call on the mat was confirmed. Take a look at our final clip from the tough call segment, or you make the call. And this is a clip from a couple of years ago. Officials in this clip are in great position, and hypothetically, if Minnesota challenges the takedown, which in this case they did not, but if they had, what would have been the outcome from our third-party reviewers? Let's take a look. Position near the edge. Again, official indicates that I've got action, looks to his second, he says I'm good with that call. We'll take a look at it one more time. Question is, has Minnesota established control with this double? In the single, changes to the double. As he can establish control here, does that foot have any part on the mat? The officials indicate that, no, I don't have it. And, you know, question becomes, what would your call be? If challenged, our third-party reviewer said the call on the mat stands awfully close, but we're going to go with the fact that I don't clearly have that foot, indicating that I have the foot of Minnesota in bounds, and that both officials agree. And so, again, the call on the mat stands, no takedown. Officials, this concludes our Tough Call video segment for the ICWA NWA National Convention. I know this is one of your favorite parts, and hopefully when we're in person, we can do more clips and have more discussion. My thanks to Brian Leslie from Western Sky Media for putting this together, my daughter Caitlin for helping get this production done. And again, officials, thank you for your patience. I know some of these clips and my my comments are a little chopped up, but I do think that, again, you've got an opportunity to take a look at some great clips. And finally, my thanks to Matt Soroshinsky, Ryan Hagan, and Jason Wedgbury for doing such a fantastic job of sending me video clips and helping us develop a great library of clips that will be beneficial to all of us, not only for this year, but for years to come.
One more thing that I'd like to say is how proud I am of the ICWA officials. This year, out of the 5 national wrestling tournaments, we've had 60 out of 83 of our ICWA members officiate one of the 5 national tournaments: D1, 2s, 3s, NAIs, and NJCAAs. That's 73% of the officials on those 5 national wrestling tournaments from the Intercollegiate Wrestling Association. We appreciate that, and I'm so proud of you guys. Keep up the great work. Now I'd like to introduce Dan Lang, our Executive Director. Dan?
Thanks, Keith. I have a few final remarks, closing remarks I'd like to share with the group. First of all, on behalf of the ICWA, we appreciate each of you taking the time to participate in this year's Excellent to Elite virtual conference. I'd also like to thank everyone, especially Governor Noem, Tim Shields, and the coaches for helping with this year's ICWA annual conference.
For members, if you have not already paid your annual dues for the season, please go to the ICWA website, icwa.org, and pay the $70 annual dues. That includes the $25 of annual dues that are paid towards the NWA, which we are all required to be members of. Please check back to the icwa.org website throughout the course of the season for updates, as I'm sure we'll have many with the COVID-19 pandemic this year. Thanks again. We hope you enjoyed our virtual conference. Have a great season. Thank you.
Officials, thank you for viewing the ICWA-NWA Virtual Officiating Conference. I hope you take away a few points that help you in preparation for the upcoming season. 2020 has been a difficult and challenging year to navigate, to say the least. We pray for a speedy recovery for any of you who have been impacted in any way by COVID-19 or any disease or illness. The goal of the ICWA was to provide a virtual meeting that incorporated the core principles of education, development, and mentorship. Thank you to the ICWA Executive Board for their hard work and determination in producing an entertaining and first-class virtual meeting. Officials, by investing the time to watch this clinic, I hope you feel more prepared and confident during the upcoming season. Special thanks to all Hall of Fame presenters and Hall of Fame guests, Dan Gable, Jim Miller, John Smith, Kel Sanderson, and Nate Carr for their inspirational messages and words of encouragement. Though the annual meeting has come to a close, know that the ICWA, Arbiter Center Map, NWA.org, along with your association's websites, will provide you with the most current updates throughout the upcoming season. For additional information about the ICWA, visit icwa.org. Officials, I wish all of you a physically, mentally, spiritually, and socially successful 2021, personally and professionally. Thank you.